Video. Nope. Oh, it says it's recording.
Yeah, I just recorded it. I'm about to try to screen share and record, and I'm gonna just like chop it up.
Okay,
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Hello, and thank you so much for your interest in applying to Space's open call. We've got some information here on our open call that we would like to run through just to give you a little bit more detail on some of what we ask for the applications. So Spaces is interested in local, national, and international artists applying to our open call for public programming. We host experimental projects through supported residencies and exhibitions. We encourage projects that leverage the assets of Cleveland and Northeast Ohio, including unique opportunities for display within the public realm. First, I'd like to begin with a land acknowledgement. Spaces does recognize the land upon which our building resides as the ancestral home of the Haudenosaunee and other Great Lakes tribes. We further acknowledge the thousands of indigenous people who now call this region home as a result of forced migration, dispossession of ancestral homelands and territories, or other reasons. We affirm their right as past, present, and future caretakers of this land. We make this statement recognizing that, intentionally or not, we have participated in ongoing settler colonialism, a term that is generally recognized to mean the removal, erasure, and supplantation of indigenous peoples. We commit to beginning the process of working to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. Thank you. So who is eligible to apply to our open call? Well, if you are 21 years of age or older, you are eligible. If you are at any stage in your career and you're engaging in experimental practices with strong conceptual foundations, you're definitely eligible to apply. If you're a local, national, or international artist, curator, or any kind of cultural producer, also artist groups are allowed to apply as well. So if there's an artist and a curator on your team, you can apply for one whole project together. You do also have to have a project based in the visual arts. However, you are not eligible if you already have a confirmed exhibition scheduled at Spaces in the future. You're a Spaces staff, so unfortunately I can't apply, or relative, a Spaces board member, or if you are currently a Spaces contractor and or relative. If you're enrolled in an undergraduate or graduate degree granting program during the year you are applying for, you would not be eligible either. Now, the benefits of applying to the Spaces open call are many. You would receive an artist honoraria of $2,000, and that is an honoraria just for the artist. None of the project budget would come from that. That $2,000 is strictly for you as the artist. We do also support travel to and from Cleveland, one round trip. We have shipping support as well, so you would have a shipping budget. We also have housing on site, our artist suite, which in the next slide you will see some photos of. It's bathroom, full bathroom, bunk bed, and we have like a hot plate, a French press, and some other things, kitchen items to make it cozy for you. You would also have access to a studio space. So we do have a wood shop and a clean studio as well on site. You'll have a materials and production budget of about $1,000 to $1,500, depending. You would also receive documentation, so photo and video of your exhibition, and introductions to artists, curators, collectors, and community members within Cleveland's vibrant arts world. Here we have some photos of the artist suite. So the Spaces residency is an 8-week residency. Now that does not mean that you have to be on site for 8 weeks, though you are welcome to. We do have the ability to be a little flexible with some of the residency being remote. If you'd like to work in your home studio, and we would just do regular check-ins via, a virtual call or email. But yes, it is an 8-week residency, again, with option to do some of that residency remote. But this is the artist suite for if you were staying on site, this would be where you were staying. Now, Spaces has a lot of art community connections, and you'd definitely be able to access any of these spaces for their resources if need be. So we've got the Cleveland Museum of Art, which is one of the best art museums in the world. The Museum of Contemporary Art as well, MoCA. We've got the Julia de Burgos Cultural Arts Center, which is a really great arts and community center here in Cleveland that focuses on Latinx and, POC projects and funding. We have Praxis Fiber Workshop, ThinkBox, Zygote Press, and Cleveland Print Room as well. Now, as far as the awarding process goes, the application closes on January 19th at 11:59 p.m. And then after all of these applications are in, a Spaces selected committee of local and national artists, curators, community members, and collectors will review the applications. And they will whittle the pool to about 20 submissions. After that, the 20 submissions would then be given to the Spaces staff to review. And then we would hold interviews with all of those finalists. And then from that pool, select about 8 to 10 artists, which we would like to invite for the residency. And the awardees will then be selected and notified. Now the timeline. So we are looking for about 1 to 2 artists for our 2024 season and about 4 to 6 resident artists for our 2025 season. And Spaces would notify awardees about early to mid-March. That's the goal. Now, feasibility for your application. So Spaces is definitely looking for artists to have a constructed and well thought out project, work samples that support the ability for the project to be successful, and that the application is compatible with Spaces programming objectives, which we will get to in just a moment, demonstrates organizational and or conceptual rigor, has a clarity of proposed methods, and a quality of past work. And to clue you in on our programming objectives, we support bold and timely projects, new commissions, provide opportunities that cannot be found elsewhere, support work that could not be made elsewhere, considering and supporting diverse perspectives, presenting work that is challenging, complicated, and not easily summarized, expanding gallery viewership and or public engagement, working with artists that consider new projects, new techniques, or new directions in their practices, making use of the resources, connections, and unique assets of our beloved Northeast Ohio. Just to give you an example of an artist that we've worked with in the past, Nastasia Swift was a 2021 Spaces artist in residence, and her exhibition was a little bit different. So she utilized the gallery space as more of a workspace and ideating station. So you can see her here in this first photo, actually working in the studio. So if you were coming to see the exhibitions during our gallery hours, you would have been able to see Nastasia in the gallery working on the felted mass. She sort of used the wall space for ideation, photos. She would put poems, any sort of sources of inspiration for her work. And then her project culminated in a parade with some community members, children from around the area, and they did a parade through our neighborhood down to the water on the lakefront. And you can see the children here with these beautiful felt masks that she created and dyed. There was music, there was food. It was a really, really great time. And what we really loved about supporting this project was how Nastasia, took her exhibition off the gallery walls and into the community. So we are definitely interested in supporting projects that do that. Now to apply, you would need to have a Submittable account. It is free, so highly suggest signing up for that, and it's also a necessity if you want to apply to our residency. Um, After you've got your Submittable account, you would head over to our website, spacescle.org/open call, or if you just head to the main page, you'll see the banner at the top that says open call. Click on that, and that will take you right to the page, and you will hit the button that says apply here, and that will take you to the Submittable application. Now, once you are in the application, here's all of the materials you will need to submit. Like I said, an existing Submittable account or create a new one. It's free, we love that. You'll need to submit the following materials: contact details, so name, email, phone, location, all that good stuff that we can use. You know, if you are accepted, we would need this information anyway. Your creative project description and artist statement. So in this area, you would talk about the conceptual and physical elements of the project, your idea, really sort of lay out any information you have. Obviously, we know you may still be ideating on the project, but as much detail as you can give us, this would be the space for that. Then we have a section for methods. And this would be where you would input what materials and media will be used, your desired resources. So say you need a printing press or a 3D printer or any type of resources you may need so that we can also point you in the right direction. Like I said, we have all of those community partners, and this would be the area that you would sort of tell us, you know, I'll be working with paint, sculpture, there will be performance elements, all of that, that would be in methods. Then we have your biography. So about up to 250 words written in third person. And then we need work samples. So samples and images of past work. Obviously, we know you don't necessarily have images of the project that you're proposing. You may not have begun work on it. So images of past work. This will give us an idea of your level of skill, you know, what you're able to produce in the event you were selected as a resident. So work samples and images, that's super important. And then lastly, we have the demographic info, which is optional. However, we don't share it with our selection committee, so don't worry about that. But it does help ensure that we are reaching the broadest possible audiences. So we love it when you fill it out, but it is optional. Questions? All right. And we will take this time to take some questions from our audience. Thank you so much, and good luck applying.